Hello, and thank you for joining us. We're here with our New Life series with Dr. Michael Lyman. Hello, Rav Lyman. Hello. This is our 1206 program. This is about the second wave of Corona. Look, when the first wave was over, everyone was talking about people. Let's start preparing for a second wave. For example, I know in Bellinson Hospital, I live near there, and over the last few years, they built this huge parking lot, and they said, look, we'll take this parking lot and we'll prepare it so that it will be a specific hospital for Corona. People who are sick. We have all the resources. That's an example. We're not even through preparing for the second wave, and there's already a jump in the numbers. Every day we see bigger and bigger numbers of people getting sick, especially in education systems. My first question is first of all the reason. What's the reason for us having a second wave of Corona? Is it because we weren't disciplined enough and we weren't taking care of the 2 meters, wearing a mask everywhere? Is that the reason, that we weren't disciplined? Of course. Of course. This is how it is. You can't say the second wave came from outside. We shut down the first wave, if we can say first or second, I don't know. We shut it down inside of us, close to us, by maintaining all the restrictions, and then we threw them away. So here again, we have the same flame, the same coals are being reignited. Why do we disregard these things, the laws? People aren't capable of maintaining, especially Israelis. You see how they are. It's not like Sweden or something. It's Israelis. They don't want to maintain any restrictions. There's no such thing. The first time, okay, they went into their homes. They were scared. The second time, that's it. It won't work. Do you think that the first time, like you said, that relatively people really kept the restrictions, and they were very tough restrictions, and they maintained them? We really, really maintained them. I really couldn't believe that we as Israelis could behave that way, but we really did it perfectly. Now, we need to maintain really much smaller things. It's not staying in our homes and not going to the Passover Seder. It's really small things, and it looks like nowhere people aren't maintaining them. Why is it? We've gone back to being Israeli. Yes. And this is how it will be. This nation, we're tough-skinned. We're not Swedish. And not Italian. It's going to be a problem. Okay, I get the reason why the second wave came back. Let's go to see how we can prepare. Do you think it's possible to prepare for the second wave, for the second round? We're creating it ourselves. I'm not looking at it that this wave is coming to us from outside. I'm looking at it that we are the reason why it's igniting and going out like coals. In what exactly? What's the reason? The reason is that we disregard all those conditions that we need to get closer to one another. We don't think about us being connected to one another incorrectly. And therefore, it turns out that our getting close to each other, our going out of hiding to the streets, apparently, to public, is causing bad. What are we not getting? That between us, we have bad egoistic relations. How can you define egoistic relations? That everyone's thinking about himself and not caring about others. How is it expressed in these days? That I'm a host to myself and I don't care about others. I'll do what I want, you do what you want. That's it. That's the main thing. The main thing is that I don't come out a loser. You know how it is in Israel. Yes, unfortunately, I know. So if this is the case, and this is our nature as Israelis, what is the correct way to prepare for the second wave? We don't need to prepare for the second wave. I don't think there will be waves, but the waves will always be if we go out toward one another without protection. What do you mean? That truly we need to maintain distance and masks and all the other things toward one another. Like I saw a photo on the internet, in the newspaper, I don't remember where, in some club or in Tel Aviv or something, people were close, 10 people in 1 square meter. Really? How is that even possible if there's a virus? If there's flu or any other virus? Of course, we are passing it on to one another very quickly without any limitation. So first of all, I think there was an atmosphere of post-corona celebrations. That's also maybe an obstacle of the government. It's possible. I don't know. I don't hear what they're talking about or not talking about every evening on a few channels in Israel. From morning to night, they're always talking about these discussions. I don't see it as good. It's just confusing people. So what do you see on the horizon? You're saying because our nature is to disregard the rules and nobody wants to come out a loser, so we're not maintaining the rules. So naturally, Corona will go up again. Where are we headed with this? Where is it all headed? We're giving this virus, we're allowing it to pass from one to the other. We're increasing it. And apart from that, our problem is that we don't understand that we have to be mutually connected with one another. Any problem that comes to Israel, it's not like with Sweden or other nations of the world. Any problem that comes shows us how much we don't want to be one will help his friend. We don't want to be as one man with one heart. We don't want to be all of Israel our friends. And therefore, the main thing is that I'm not a loser. And what happens? And then I am the first one to be hit. If this is the case, up till now we described the situation. If this is the case, what do we need to correct? What do we need to improve in our behavior and how we relate to one another and the rules and the safety rules so this will all be less threatening? We need to relate nicely one to the other and take the precautions. The fact that I'm not the fact that if I have the virus, the coronavirus, I'm careful not to pass it on to you. I'm being concerned for you. I think at that level, a person who is already sick, they know he has corona, people are being careful not to pass it on. But the problem starts before that. No, it's not. All of us have viruses, and we all have to be careful not to pass these viruses on to others. Corona is just giving us an example that each of us, it's possible that we have a virus, and in a viral way, we are actually transferring it to other people, and we have to be careful. Meaning, what's the issue? First of all, that I have to think about the good of the other, about the health of the other, that the other won't be harmed by me, that I will relate to him well. This is what the virus is teaching us. It's as if to transfer the central point of focus from myself to my influence on others? Yes, of course. And if we are concerned for one another, we will all be healthy. Meaning, in your eyes, the one who has to be careful is not just people who have high temperature, starting to cough, everyone. Not towards himself, but towards others. He shouldn't cause others to have viruses. I want to go back to the point you said from 2 or 3 minutes ago. You said Israelis aren't like Swedish. What in your eyes is special about the Israeli corona? Israel altogether, I haven't researched it in depth, but we're a success story with the way we dealt with the first wave. What are we missing now that we won't go into some descent in the second wave? Lack of consideration for one another. That's what we're missing. In the first wave, we were all afraid for ourselves, our family. And then we gathered all together in our homes. The second wave, I don't care, my house, I don't care. I'm going out to everyone. But are you worried about the others? Are you thinking about the others? Are you aware of what you're doing or not? If not, then you will receive times many the blows of corona compared to the first time. The first, you didn't know anything. Clearly, it didn't come here. You actually have entered a situation where you are like making a crime. You're not thinking of others. How is it possible that you're not thinking of others and you're going to these public places and you're with people? Not that you're receiving from them, but how are you possibly passing on to them? Even though for sure you're clean and you don't care getting the virus from them. But you need to think that if you have it, and no one can say that you don't, what are you doing to others? The second wave is evil inclination, recognition of evil inclination, how I relate to others. The first was, who am I, that I have the virus? Let's say the blows of Egypt, the first blow. The second blow is that I don't take the others into consideration and I'm going to all kinds of places. It's not a matter of me being harmed. I'm not thinking of others that I could be passing it on to them. You said before something very interesting. You said that in the first blow, we all got afraid, and the fear actually paralyzed us, and it made us keep the precautions. What happened now? Where did the fear go now? Now they're giving you a different feeling. You're starting to develop. You're giving a different feeling that you're not afraid of yourself. It means we haven't enough. We can't sit at home. Whatever happens will happen. I'll go outside. It's a game. It's a game of your ego. And then you have to take yourself in your hands and think about others. And you're not doing this. So, of course, here is your crime is really a crime. There it was you were looking at you wanted to keep your life and you were concerned. Now you're not concerned. Your ego grew. I don't care what happens with the house and my relatives. I'm going out. That's it. We will eat and drink because tomorrow we'll die. And then we're passing to each other these viruses. I think that we'll still see it ahead in the near future, how much it's caused a great igniting. Even if you stop now, even if you stop these gatherings, still, until it will calm down, will take time. I think that there's a combination of two feelings that are a bit confusing for us. I think that still there's a fear that I will get sick or my kids will get sick. I can't say that that fear is gone. Of course it exists. On the other hand, there's a feeling that I've had enough already. The ego is allowing you to have this ability not to take all these things into account that used to be important. Why? Why? A person is stupid, excuse me for the expression. That's exactly the growing ego. That's how it gives you abilities to make new decisions. Doesn't matter. Kids, let them be, whatever will be. Myself, nothing will happen to me. But you can catch this virus. I don't think so. Why doesn't he think so? Why? Because his ego has grown from the height of before the first level to the level of to the second level. And at the second level, he should have been afraid, like at the first level. He was afraid of catching the virus and living or dying. And now, at the second level, he has to be afraid of passing the virus on to other people. Not to catch it for himself, but to pass it on to others. And he doesn't want to. Meaning the ego has become bigger and he's not taking it into consideration. Why? If a person has no temperature, has no signs of having the virus, why should he be afraid that he's making other people sick? But he's not sick. He has no signs. He wasn't next to anyone sick. Why should he think now that he's going to make other people sick? God forbid. He's not sick. Responsibility. Responsibility. Precisely because it's hidden from me if I'm sick or not. Am I making other people sick or am I infecting other people? Do we really rely on all these checks, on all these tests? I'm not responsible for the life of others. I'm not taking it into consideration. He can cause it to me. I can cause it to him. Whatever will be, will be. In this crowding that I saw a picture in Tel Aviv, it's unbelievable. You're demanding a level of responsibility, a high level of responsibility from a person. Yes, despite you not being sick, you should relate to yourself as if you're sick and as if you're making other people sick. And that's how you need to behave. Because it's possible. Because it's possible. And I can cause, if I'm carrying this virus, then thousands of people can get infected from me if I'm in a place like that. Thousands. Meaning I have no responsibility for the other. I have no love for others. I have no consideration of others. I'm happy like this. My ego has gone up to the second level. I'm happy going out and having fun, so I go out and have fun. In a place where there's thousands of people, and bodily they're next to each other. What do you think we should do? What should we do in this reality to prevent spreading, great spreading and a huge second wave? We need to give people new brains. What kind of brain would you install in people? Even an animal's brain that will be afraid. Yes. A brain implant. Yes, I don't know what to do. What do you mean? I know what to do, but go knock on the gates of the government or someone there, the public people. No one will listen. What brain implant would you do? A healthy brain that can understand that we, the nation of Israel, are in mutual responsibility. And now we're in a situation where mutual responsibility will demand of us more and more. Look in the near future. What kind of mutual responsibility will be necessary in the near future? More than that, up till now, it was only toward others in this manner, in this simple manner, not to pass on the virus to them. What will happen? We'll see. You said before that Swedish compared to Israelis, and now you're saying Israelis have to be in mutual responsibility. Why do you highlight this point that Israelis and the corona, it's a global pandemic? You'll see soon that they're talking all over the world that we caused the pandemic. We caused it. What do you mean? This is how it is. Israelis they created corona and they caused it and it spread in the world. And that's it. And the whole world understands this and agrees with this. And the Chinese have nothing to do with it. The Chinese wanted to develop the vaccine. That's it. But who developed the virus itself? Israel. Nobody knows this. There's all kinds of conspiracies. But still, it will turn out that they point us for doing it. Do you think that Israel will find the cure, the vaccine to corona? Which country will find it first? It's possible. But it won't help. Why? The world doesn't need this cure. It needs a more internal cure. What kind of cure? Internal, mental, where the virus came from. What's the virus saying to us? That we're connected to one another in an integral way. And we are in clashing with the global nature. And this is what we need to do. This is actually the virus. I don't understand. Our virus is our ego that will not allow us to connect. Therefore, we're separated from one another, and we're in a clash with the global nature. We're not connected to each other in integral connection. Therefore, this ego comes and controls us in all sorts of ways possible. And now it's being revealed in this biological virus. It really doesn't matter what form it takes. With this idea you presented now, how is it possible to use it as preparation for the second wave? What do we need to take from this, actually? I don't think there will be waves. It will appear to be like that because it will be connected to heat, cold, certain events, but it's not really waves. This is just how it appears to us. If it's not waves, what is it? In what form will it come? No, I mean, how can we prepare? Because it's already starting. Only the correct connection between us. Only the correct connection between us, and first of all, in Israel. And therefore, the whole world will feel that Israel, that is not connected, is the source of the coronavirus. Let's say we succeeded to implant a new brain. Let's say we succeeded in implanting a healthy brain that understands and differentiates and feels what kind of closeness we exist in. And it would provide this image for us. I didn't understand the definition. We need such a brain here that will tell me exactly what harm I'm causing others at the moment. What harm? What harm am I causing others? That I don't love them, that I'm not being considerate of them, even my own kids. But that's already a corporeal closeness. I'm not taking anyone into consideration. I'm happy, we'll eat and drink because tomorrow we will die. I don't care. Even my life isn't important to me. To such an extent, my ego is going that way. Like it is written, let's eat and drink because tomorrow we will die. How did someone say to me, we die only one time? Yes. Nice sentence. Someone said it to me a month and a half ago. You only die once, so you don't need to be hysterical. It's not hysteria. The fact that we're going to die, we'll die. But do I want to die now or in a few more years? After I get something done for myself, for my kids, my grandchildren, my relatives, and my students, the world. I don't want to die. If you ask me, I don't want to die. Why? I think I still have what to do. I also think you have a lot more to do. But if I didn't, I remember myself, let's say 40 years ago, I didn't care about dying. Listen, we have another half a minute. I have to ask a last question. We spoke about implanting a brain as preparation for the second wave, yes? Conclude for me, what's this change of perception that we need to shift to get good things instead of bad? We're missing this feeling of others, that we're not connected to others in a way that we each feel ourselves as part of the other because we belong to one soul. And this soul we don't feel. We feel instead of this, each person as himself, a piece of meat and that's it. And the soul that we're all together, we don't feel. And this is the problem. How do you give each and every one the feeling that we belong to this body, this soul? That's the challenge, yes. Rav Leitman, thank you very, very much. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Until next time, New Life, all the best.